Welcome. Nice to see you all. Let's see who all is here. There's Anandamayi and Manibanda and Daityesha and Madhupuri and Bernd and Ramona and Tirtharaj and Charlotte and Leela Radha and Haridev and Keli Parayana. And thank you. And Padma Malini and Katyayani and Mathura Mohan is out jogging or something. And Odarya Chandrika and Prema Sarovara and Mangala Chandrika and Odarya Janani and Bhoma Vrindavan, which he spelled Bhūme Vrindavan. Interesting. And Martina is here, and maybe Marcos is somewhere. And Sita Rani, who spelled her name Sita Ayani. And Smarahari and Yamuna and Ram Avatar and Suzanne and let's see, Yashodarani and Yaritza, who's also here in person, and Valeria and Anandita Rama and Amara Chandra and Mahima Mayi and Sharada Tilaka and Madhyana Lila and Sabina, not sure who is Sabina, Bhuvana Chandrika and Hiranya Pandit and Rasadari Hari and more. Welcome everyone. Gyananjana Shlakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamahyam Danati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tang Sajiva Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitangscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Abhanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hey Krishna Karana Sindhu Dinabando Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jai Jai Jai. Today is, what's today? May the 4th, 2024, and I'm speaking from Sadhanashrama in Slovenia, where we're never in a rush because it's Slovenia. And we have, not to say that you online are not live, but here we have a live audience with several devotees. Welcome to all of you, including Dharma Kshetra. Dharma Kshetra, Kuru Kshetra, Samaveda. So everyone always quotes that verse when they see you, isn't it?
I feel ashamed if I don't know the verse, so
you learned it, yes. Yeah. Okay, we have a song from Srila Narottama Thakura to go through. Then we have, what do we have? We have a bit of Narottama Thakura biography to read. And I thought today, because today is, according to one source, today is the appearance day of Sri Vallabhacharya, that we could say a few words about Vallabhacharya. And then, what else? There may be something I've heard. Oh, and then I wanted to also say something about writing. Haha, your favorite subject. And then we'll see what else comes. Nandama is asking, please elaborate on these two similar verses. Oh, Bhavarta Divika Mangala Stotra 111. And then I guess I don't see the whole thing there. It's not showing. Somehow it's here, it's not showing beyond the first 4 lines of the message. Okay, we'll see about that. For now, song. We have a song. What is the song? The song is last week's song, first of all. Vrindavana Ramya Sthana Dibya Chintamanida Rattana Mandira Manohara Abrita Kalindinire Rajahangsa Keli Kore Tahe Shobhe Konaka Kamal. Beautiful Vrindavan is filled with Chintamani gems and many jewel palaces and temples. Yeah, so this was a description of Vrindavan, how wonderful Vrindavan is. And so, yeah, it may be interesting. It's a meditation on Radha and Krishna, but it starts out by describing sort of the general geography, you could say. There's Vrindavan, and Vrindavan has lots of palaces and temples and swans in the river Yamuna and so on. And then, okay, it's Vrindavan, then it's Yamuna, and then it's an island in the Yamuna in the form of what? Anyone remember?
Oh, in the form of lotus.
Yes, the form of a lotus. What sort of lotus?
It was 8 petal and golden.
Very good, very good. A golden 8-petaled lotus. And now coming more and more to the center, in the center of the lotus are
Radha and Krishna.
Radha and Krishna, Shama Sundar and Shrimati Radharani. And they're sitting. What are they sitting on? Not this time. Sometimes they sit on a swing. They're sitting on a golden throne. No, they're sitting on a jewel throne. Tarmadya ratnasane boshi achendui jone. Shama Shange Sundari Radhika. So Radharani is referred to as Sundari Radhika. And Krishna is referred to simply as Shama. And then, what are they doing on this seat? Or I should say, it's not, what is it? Anyway, the great beauty of the divine couple and their charming joking and laughter continually showers nectar everywhere. So it's interesting to me that Krishna jokes a lot, apparently, and laughs. In the Abrahamic religious traditions, God seems to be always very serious. Very serious. And sometimes quite angry as well. Yeah. But Krishna seems like he's always having a good time. He's joking and laughing. And then it ends, Narottama Dasa koi nitya lila shukamoy, shadai spuruk mora mone. He's requesting, he's praying that this nitya lila, eternal lila, pastime, which is sukhamoya, it's full of happiness, full of joy. That spuruk, may it touch, may it be totally directly manifest when sadai, always, always, always. So sada means always, and sadai means really always, all the time. Where does he want this to happen? Moramone, which could be translated in my mind, but mind and heart, they're kind of interchangeable in this poetry. So he's translated it here as heart, in my heart. May I always see, feel, experience this vision in my heart. Hasa parihasa sambhashane. That's nice. So whenever we're feeling a little down, if we're ever feeling a little morose or troubled, we can think of Radha and Krishna sitting in this lotus, laughing and having so many jokes. Maybe they're laughing about us and how we're struggling so hard. Okay, today's song, that was last week. Today's song, Kadamba, this is called Mathura Virohcita Darasana Lalasa, song number 4. And it's still from Prarthana. Kadamba Tarura Dala nāmiyāche bhūme bhalo iyāche phula sāri parimale bharalo sakala ndāvana keli kore bhramarā bhramarī. In Vrindavan, the Kadamba offer obeisance. Their flowering branches reverently touching the ground. Bumblebees enjoy pastimes in Vrindavan, which is filled with a very sweet fragrance. Okay, Kadamba Tarura Dala. Nāmiyāche. Nāmiyāche would be bowing down. Bhūme, to the earth. Bhālo, I think, means well, thoroughly, really doing it. Phut iyāche, blossoming. Sāri, sāri. Sāri, I guess, one after another. Then parimale, bharalo. Sakala Vrindavana, all over Vrindavan. I don't know this parimale. I think you may have received a translation. Parimale, bharalo. What does it say?
Filled with fragrance.
Filled with fragrance. Okay. Yeah, bharalo, I think, is filled. Parimala. Okay, sakala Vrindavana. Keli kore. Keli, of course, means playing. So in doing play, bhramarā, bhramarī. So I guess it's male and female bumblebees. Bhramarā, bhramarā, bhramarī. Rai kānu vilasaye range. Kibarupa lavani baidagadi kani dhani manimāye ābharana ange. Radha and Krishna stay in the place where they enjoy pastimes. How beautiful they are. Kiba rupa lavani. Their bodies are decorated with jewel ornaments, and they are wealthy with many gem mines of intelligence and wit. Mines, okay, Dani could be mine, Kani. No, Kani would be mine. Mine wealth, Vaidagdi, something like clever. Or wit, Vaidagdi, yeah? Is that what it says? Huh?
Wit.
Yeah, no, I was asking whether Vaidagdi is wit or clever. Anyway, money maya, so full of jewels. Ābharana, ornament. Ange, on their bodies, I guess. Their bodies are decorated with jewel ornaments, okay, mani maya ābharana ange. And they are wealthy, dhani, with many gem mines. I think khani would be mine. Yes? Did you find the translation? Yeah, but I'm trying to get the individual words. Okay, anyway. Next verse. Radhar dakina kora dhari priya giridhara madhura choli jai age pache sakhī-gan kore phula varishana kono sakhī chamara dulai. Dear Giridhari, Priya Giridhara, holds Srimati Radharani's right hand Dakshinakara. And together, they gracefully stroll about. I guess it's Cholijai. Mathura, Mathura, Cholijai. Sweetly walking around. The gopis shower flowers before and behind them. Age pache means in front and behind. Sakhī-gan kore pul varishana. Varishana, sprinkling, showering. And one gopi, kono shaki, some gopi, chamara dulai, fans them with a chamara. Parage, du sarasthala, chandre kore, sushitala, manimoy, vedir upore, rai kānu kora jodi, nritya kore piri piri, paroshe phulake tanu bhare. That place is filled with the aromatic pollen of the lotus. And it is made pleasantly cool by the shining of the moon. Chandre kore sushitala. Not just shitala, but sushitala, pleasantly cooling. On a raised platform there, Radha and Krishna dance. Rai kānu. So Rai is Radharani and Kānu is Krishna. Koro jodi. Jodi. Nritya. Nritya means dancing. Nritya kore. Piri piri. Which I suspect means something like turning around. Oh, kara jodi must be holding hands. Kara jodi. Jodi. The hairs of their bodies standing up in ecstasy. Parashe phulake tanu bhare. So tanu is body, and phulaka is standing on end. Parashe, prashe, I think. Yeah, hair. Okay, so we get another vision of Radha and Krishna. Now they're not just sitting there. Now they're dancing. Before they were sitting and joking and laughing, and now they're dancing. And they were also walking around. So that's nice. Okay, let's see what we can make of this musically. Musicians on. Okay. This has again the second verse with 3 lines instead of 4. Anyone here want to play mridanga? Anyone here want to play some kind of percussion instrument? Kadamba, Tarura, Dala, nāmiyāche, bhūme, bhāla, Kadamba, Tarura, Dala, iyāche bhūme bhāla phut iyāche phula sāri phut iyāche phula sāri parimale bharalo sakala ndāvana hari my harmonium here is falling apart. Okay, thank you. Well, let's try that again. Parimale bhāralo sakala ndāvana parimale sakala keli kore bhramarā bhramarī keli kore keli kore bhramarā bhramarī kānu vilasaye range kānu vilasaye range kānu vilasaye range kānu Virohcita labani vaidagadi kani dani Virohcita labani vaidagadi kani manimaya abharana manimaya abharana ange radhara dakina koto gari priya giridhara Mathura, Mathura choli jai. Age pache sakhī-gan kore phula varishana. Kono sakhī chamara Kono shaki chamara dhula Karage dusarasala Chandre kore sushitala Manimoy vedira ore Rai kānu koro chodi Mritya kore piri piri Parase phula ke kānu bhari Parase phula ke kānu bhari Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Haribo, 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 Okay. That was a good backup team. Okay. So, continuing with Narottama's Thakura's story from last week. Where were we? Oh, yes. Narottama has been on his way to Vrindavan as a young boy. We don't know what his age was, but it seems to have been quite young. And he had to kind of forcefully leave home. He was running away, and then he was caught, and then he said, well, to the guards who caught him, "You're not going to take me back home. I'm going to Vrindavan." And they kind of, we can imagine, they just stood there with their jaws dropped. What are we going to do now? What are we going to tell his father, Krishnananda? And then he had this dream in which Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis appeared. And they said, "You can do it." And they reassured him that the milk pot, which had been brought for him, was brought by none other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for them. And so he drinks the milk and he becomes recharged, and then he goes village to village, and in each village they are charmed by him, and they hardly want to let him go. He's such a nice sadhu boy. Anyway, they help him, and then he gets finally to Vrindavan. Mridanganada Shrutimatra Chaschat Padambujamanda Manoharaya Sadhya Samudyat Pulakaya Tasmai Namo Namah Shila Narottamaya. I repeatedly offer my respectful obeisance to Srila Narottam Das Thakur, just by hearing the sound of the mridanga nada shruti matra, his lotus feet would begin to dance in a way that fully enchants the mind. Manoharaya padambuja amanda manoharaya, and the hairs of his body would stand on end. Samudyat pulakaya, sadhya, suddenly. Pasmai namo nama shila narottamaya. Okay, it says now, chapter 3 begins here, and whoops. And after 2 months of walking, we can imagine the condition of his feet walking to Vrindavan from where? Where was his home? Narottama's home. Starts with a K.
Keturi.
Ketari, yes, Ketari Gram, which is in present-day Bangladesh, near the border to West Bengal. And as I remember, it's north from Navadvip, Mayapur, north and a little east, maybe. Okay, so he's walked a long way. And he's getting excited because he's getting close to Vrindavan. And then he comes one day into a clearing. Would have been a lot of forest. Now it's all, not much forest. Scruffy trees. A lot of these trees, one devotee told me, you see in North India now, with thorns, these thorny trees you see there. They were imported from Africa by the British. For what reason? They thought it would be a great idea to import these. Yeah. Anyway, so he comes into this clearing where there's no trees. And he thinks he sees some city in the distance. And he sees a farmer who's plowing his field. And he runs up to him and he says, "Is that a city up there?" And the farmer looks at Narottama and says, "Well, it's Mathura, of course." And have you lost your way? When he hears the name Mathura, what do you expect Narottama does? He faints. When he opened his eyes, the bewildered farmer was peering down at him. "Are you all right?" So Narottama's very excited and he thanks him and he jumps to his feet and he runs toward Mathura. In this busy, he comes to one big gateway, ornate gateway, and he asks someone where he is. And the person says, "This is Ranga Bhūme." This is the place where Kuvalayapida, the elephant, blocked Krishna's entry into the wrestling arena. And then he points down the road and he says, that's where Krishna and Balaram wrestled with Chanura and Mushtika. Well, Narottama is, says here, delirious with joy. You know the word delirious? It's like quite mad. Then Krishna, then Narottama runs to the place of Krishna's birth, falls flat on the ground, offers prayers. In ecstasy, he hurries to Vishramghat to see where Krishna had bathed and rested after killing Kamsa. And he refreshes himself in the water of the Yamuna, and he can't believe it. I'm here. This is the Yamuna. How is it possible? And we go to Vrindavan, we take an airplane, then we take a taxi, and then, okay, now I'm in Vrindavan. No. And then he sits on the bank of the Yamuna, and he watches the sun go down. And then he sings prayers glorifying Krishna. Then an old Brahmin comes by and he hears Narottama's sweet voice. And he notices, he's very thin, emaciated. His clothes are all torn, but he's so happy. And he appears absorbed in meditation. So he runs home and he makes a big plate of prasadam for Narottama. He comes back and he says, oh child, please come and eat. And Narottama is charmed by the Brahmin and they share this prasadam. And then Narottama asks, how is everything in Vrindavan? Are Sri Rupa Goswami and Sanatan still busy writing books? The Brahmin's face darkened. Narottama says, what's wrong? Narottama stares at the Yamuna. He can't look at Narottama. Then he sighs heavily. He traces his finger awkwardly on the damp sand. What's wrong? Asked Narottama. The Brahmin's silent, and then he looks in Narottama's eyes, his own filling with tears. My heart aches to tell you, he faltered, Rupa and Sanatan. He couldn't say more. They have both left this mortal. Narottama didn't respond immediately. He didn't want to believe what he heard. The Brahmin says, not only them, but Sri Raghunath Bhatta and Kashishvara Pandit, they've also returned to the Lord's abode. Narottama is jolted as if hit by lightning. Perhaps on the shore of the Yamuna. He bangs his head on the ground and he calls out, oh Rupa, oh Sanatan, where are you? Raghunath Bhatta, Kashishvara, why have you left me here alone? Is my heart made of stone that I still live after receiving such news? And these tears are flowing hot and fast. How is this possible? He says, I have been waiting my whole life, which was not very many years, to meet these great personalities. I plotted, I planned, I hoped, I dreamed, I endured so many hardships. I walked for so many miles. And now my hopes are shattered. I was born too late to take part in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Now again, I am cursed and have lost the chance to associate with his devotees. So the Brahmin wants to comfort him. He embraces him. Please don't cry. I can understand your disappointment. But he says, there are still many great devotees in Vrindavan, and you can still meet them. He says, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and many other wonderful Vaishnavas are still with us. So, okay, that's nice, but he was fixed on seeing Rupa and Sanatan because they were his childhood heroes. He was hearing about them. What was the point? What was the point of even going to Vrindavan now? What was the point of even going on living? So the Brahmin stays with Narottama that night because he understands he's really disturbed. But Narottama couldn't fall asleep. Shri Rupa, Sanatan, Bhatta, Raghunath, and Kashishvara Pandit came forward in a vision and embraced Narottama. So this seems like kind of a dream. They shower him with their blessings. Each of them spoke to him lovingly, pacifying him and encouraging him to go on to Vrindavan. They reminded him of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction that he was to be initiated by Sri Lokanath Goswami. Narottama felt boundless happiness in their company. Then, as suddenly as they had appeared, they vanished. Narottama sat up, looked around. All these devotees had disappeared. Where are they now? He can't see them. He wants to see them desperately. And the Brahmin, it says here, was fortunate to also witness the vision and hear this discussion. So he looks at Narottama with amazement. He had never seen such profound devotion, and the Brahmin tearfully embraces Narottama. He says, thank you for giving me your purifying associations. Since it is now morning, please come to my house and rest for a while. And Narottama bows to the Brahmin, and he says, thank you, but I can't wait. I must go to Vrindavan and see the Goswamis there. Who knows how much longer Lokanath Goswami will remain in this world? I don't want to waste another minute. Please give me your blessings so I may leave immediately. So the Brahmin agrees, though reluctantly, and Narottama leaves Mathura the Brahmin accompanies him for some way. And then he says goodbye. And now, in the next section, or next time, he's going to enter Vrindavan. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Srila Narottama Das Thakura ki jai. Yeah, so let's see. I was going to say a little about Vallabhacharya. What can I say? I don't know very much, except he was, he appeared just for 1486, no, he appeared 9 years, 79. My mathematics. He appeared in 1479, apparently. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in 1486. So a few years before, 7 years before he appeared. Somewhere in, they say South India, but I think it was more Central India that he appeared, Andhra. Madhya Pradesh, I was told. And so he was a contemporary of Mahaprabhu, our Mahaprabhu. Vallabhacharya is also called Mahaprabhu by his followers. And according to Chaitanya Charitamrita, they met. And where they met was in Jagannath Puri. Now, the way Krishnadas tells the story, Vallabhacharya was very much appreciated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but there was a kind of ambivalence toward him. Was this the whole story? We don't know, but it seems that by the time of, Krishnadas Kaviraj, there was more of a distance between the two sampradayas. Vallabhacharya is identified with the Rudra Sampradaya, where Vishnu Swami is the sort of founder. Well, there's Rudra as the original, and then there's someone that no one knows anything about, namely Vishnu Swami, maybe from the 13th century. There are no surviving writings from Vishnu Swami. So that's as much as I can say about him. But Vallabhacharya apparently is identified with, or he identified himself with that sampradaya. In Vrindavan, his followers settled largely on the south end of Govardhan Hill. Those of you who have been, you know that Govardhan is a long and narrow, very long and very narrow hill, and it runs sort of northeast to southwest. On the west side of the south end, almost the end, is this small town called Jatipur. You've been to Jatipur. And this is where the Vallavas they have a large temple there of Srinathji. We went there on our last evening at the retreat for the arti, and they were playing, someone was playing bhajan on an electric keyboard with 2 huge loudspeakers that were blasting absolute maximum volume, ear-shattering, breaking loud. I felt sorry for Krishna that he has to hear. anyway, they have, so there, the point is they're on the south end, and the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Goswamis, they all settled around Radha Kund and Shama Kund on the north end of the hill. So in the south, the followers of Vallabha in that town, in the north, Radha Kund, Shama Kund, the Gaudiyas. Somehow that's how it developed. And there's a kind of difference in flavor between the two traditions. The Goswamis are famous for their extreme renunciation. They lived, as it says, under a different tree every day, every night, and so on. Maybe not all the time they were living under different trees, but for some time. So they were renunciants. They were not householders. They had given up the home life and so on. Vallabha's tradition is very much a householder tradition. Their gurus are all householders. I was fortunate to meet some of their gurus in Mathura in the year 2001, when I met the compiler or writer of this book, Shamdas. Sadly, Shamdas is no longer with us. He suddenly departed in a vehicle accident some years back. Very nice devotee from America. He became a Vallabha Hare Krishna. He joined there, and he became very learned in different languages and their shastras. Very enthusiastic devotee, and he introduced me. He took me to meet. There was a wedding, a big wedding going on of one of the sons of one of these acharyas. So it was sort of everyone who is anyone were present at this event. And we went around during I guess it was, what was it, early afternoon, when sort of there were no ceremonies going on. So everyone was just kind of relaxing, different places. So he just took me and introduced me to these different acharyas who, what I remember about them is just that they were all very handsome, very, you can say, well-fed, and all with nice big mustaches. Anyway, that's just externals. Yeah, the mood is very much that it's for everyone to worship Krishna, and in particular, they seem to emphasize the worship of Krishna as a child. And so in the homes of these devotees, they will have Bala Krishna as a deity often, and they will meditate that they're caring for him just as they would care for a small baby, small child. Yeah. Of course, their main deity is Srinathji, Govardhan Nath, who was discovered at Govardhan, or rediscovered. And there's two different stories about their being discovered. Yeah, I think the Srinathji story is in this book. I mean, the Vallabha's story is in this book, and the Gaudiyas have a different story about. And they both are about Madhavendra Puri, Madhavendra Puri's discovery, but somehow or other, although initially worshipped by followers of Madhavendra who were Gaudiya Vaishnavas, at some point they were kind of, I don't know, asked to leave or what, but somehow it was kind of, the worship was taken over by followers of Vallabha. That's as much as I can remember of the story. At some point, the deity was removed from Govardhan and is now present in the Rajasthani town of Natadvara. Natadvara is quite some distance from Vrindavan. It's kind of southwest Rajasthan. And they do very, very opulent worship there. I was told that the deity receives a completely new dress outfit every day. It's not that they, have I don't know, maybe they store them, but I don't know what happens to those outfits that have been offered later. But and I also was told that they bring whole train carloads of ghee for the cooking for the deity from Mumbai. So anyway, it's the mood of the Sampradaya is, it's all about opulence. It's all about richness, and there's plenty of everything. And so when I went to this, to see these, to meet these in Mathura, these acharyas, I saw in one place they had a display, so to say, of a bhoga offering, and they had, well, I don't know, they had murtis they were offering to. But I just remember in the middle of this big room of plates and plates and plates and plates of prasadam, there was in a circle, they had ladus that were the size of basketballs. They had set up in a kind of circle. So ladu this size. So that's their mood. It's, there's plenty. There's, just Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Let's make everything possible for his enjoyment. Vallabhacharya wrote commentary to the Srimad Bhagavatam, not the entire Bhagavatam, canto, as I remember, cantos 1, 3, and 10, and maybe 11. And it's been translated in several volumes in English. This commentary was, according to Krishnadas Kaviraj, not appreciated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why? Because, again, according to Krishnadas, Vallabhacharya did not appreciate Sridhar Swami. Sridhar is considered the commentator, the foundational commentator on the Bhagavatam. Although a lot of Sridhar's commentary is very short, he's often just giving little one-word gloss, an explanation of different words. So it can be quite minimal. But apparently Vallabha was not so concerned about his commentary, and so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not appreciate Vallabhacharya, his commentary, according to Krishnadas. Again, we don't know what the historical situation was, because Krishnadas wrote, 70 or 80 years after the departure of both Vallabha and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And anyway, but his commentary is quite extensive. He wrote quite some elaborate commentary. Individual verses will get very elaborate commentaries. Quite complex analysis he makes. So in that way, he's quite different from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of whom we have written record of what? Altogether, only 8 verses total. Vallabha wrote so much. So he was, he was a very learned scholar and so on. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he was all about, let's chant Hare Krishna and just be absorbed in Krishna and hear the Bhagavatam. Right, that's a little bit about Vallabhacharya Ki Jai. Now we had, I just am seeing this note. We heard the news this morning that His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj is in a very, very critical condition. Devotees are asked for prayers. Yes. This is the first time I'm hearing it, so of course, prayers for Gopal Krishna Maharaj, who has been dedicating his life to serve Srila Prabhupada all these years in so many ways. Yeah, this is, as Burijan Prabhu said once, this is the decade of tears, when we start to see devotees preparing for the end. Okay, let's go back to Anandamayi's question. Mukam karati vachalam. And the different endings, Paramananda Madhavam and Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yeah, this is, you could say, an example of echoing or maybe quoting verses within different traditions. And let's see, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 17, and Bhavarta Deepika Mangala Stotram. So the one from Sridhar Swami would, of course, have been earlier by well over a century, more like 2 centuries. And then the later one, Krishnadas quoting. So the verse, Mukam karati vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande. And then there's different endings. Sri Gurung Dinataranam and Paramananda Madhavam. Yeah, that's just what devotees do sometimes. They will quote and maybe make variations. So the verse is saying that by the grace of the Lord, Mukam, the one who is dumb, that is, one who is unable to speak, karati vachalam, he becomes a speaker, one who can speak. Pangum langayate girim, and a pangu, someone who is lame, langayate, is made able to cross mountains. Yat kripa tamaham vande. I offer obeisance to him who makes this transformation, who makes it possible. So the verse is quoted often, especially for the first line, Mukam karati vachalam, because when one is speaking Harikatha, Krishna Katha, one is feeling like, who am I to speak? I am like a dumb person. I can't say a thing. But Krishna is very merciful. He's able to make someone who is unable to speak to be able to speak. So yeah, Paramananda Madhavam. Madhava is Krishna, and he's described as being Parama Ananda, supremely joyful. And then Sri Gurum, referring to the Guru. So in one case, it's respecting Madhava as the one who empowers. And the other ending is that the Guru is the one who empowers. Sri Gurum Dina Taranam. So Dina means lowly, wretched, fallen. Taranam, who delivers. The Guru who delivers the most fallen. Yeah, that's how that is. Right, Hare Krishna. Is that all right?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Good. Now, who has something to share? Anyone, any news from anywhere in the universe? Has anyone been traveling to different planets in the last week? Oh, Darya Chandrika, you've been traveling to other planets. Very good.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. No, I was not. I was not traveling to another planet. But I said the last time that I would share photos of the temple from Bahrain, from Balaram Desh. And
Oh, yeah.
yes, so and especially when you were sharing about yourself, and at that time, His Holiness Hare Krishna Swami, that I was not aware that you were also that you visited Bahrain as well, and I can say maybe that the seeds have sprouted, and here is the outcome.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just share the screen now. So before I will share the screen, I just look a little bit about the history of the temple, and I found out that ISKCON started in Bahrain around 1984, and then split to two in 1986. So they have two temples, but the other one is really small one. So the main one is the first one, yeah, and they said that they will renovate this year because it currently looks a bit old. You will see also in the front. I take a photo of the front building, how it looks. And another, how to say, big step happened in 2016, where Bahrain witnesses the first public harinam in the region. I have to say again that this is Muslim country, this is Middle East. There is no other possibility than to publicly share only Muslim faith. So it was at the time when the 5th anniversary of ISKCON was happening. And the organizer, Madhav Prabhu, of that program, he said that, I will read his quote, "This is the first time ever that we have been given permission by the honorable government of the Kingdom of Bahrain to perform Harinam Sankirtan publicly." And he said that event was sponsored and patronized by the office of Bahrain Prime Minister, His Highness Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa. And because of this, 50,000 fortunate residents of Bahrain turned up for the festival. So it was kind of
50,000?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes, looks like it was a really huge one, yes.
Amazing.
Successful. You see, Guru Maharaj. Success, definitely. Okay, so I will share the screen now. Please let me know if you can see it. Can you see the screen?
Just need 1 second.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is the sign for Krishna's ISKCON temple, Balaram Desh. This is, you can see the building. It's really like an old shape. And inside of the temple, they have Prabhupada in on the one side, and this is on next to opposite to Prabhupada. This is the altar of in the temple. Bahrain, I took a photo for a little bit closer. So these are Gornitai, Vic and Chota, and this is Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. And this is the famous Krishna Balaram, and as you can see, it's quite chubby Balaram, and the hands are in his waist, not on the shoulders of Krishna.
Yeah.
So I never see Krishna Balaram with his like this, so it was really fun and super to see different pose of Balaram.
Yeah.
And this is a little bit more closer, yeah, that we can see a little bit different.
Yeah.
Really
Balaram
beautiful.
looks like he eats very well.
Yes, yes, exactly. Looks like that, yes. And of course, Chota, Krishna Balaram, and Shishi Radha Bahrain Ishwara.
Oh.
Yes. And Chota as well, yeah.
Jaya Radha Bahrainishwar Radha Bahrainishwar Radha.
Yes. And then, of course, because while I was there, I went to, sorry, this is also Prahlad Nrsimhadev. They also have Nrsimhadev on the altar. So this is the whole altar in Bahrain, the main temple. Really beautiful, a lot of flowers, regularly worship, and really beautiful. And this is when the festival is coming. So they really do the nice arrangement with flowers and everything. It's really nice to see. So, sorry. So I went there because there was a Bahrain Kirtan Fest, and this was the Adivas, the first evening. This was happening in the temple, the same temple. So Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra were like, they offered harmonium and mridanga to them, and of course with the mantras they opened. I will just put it for a few seconds. Sorry. Yeah, so this was the Adivas, and then the first day, so you can see here names of Kirtaniyas, Adiras Prabhu. I mean, half of them definitely, all of you probably heard about them or even experienced them, and it was really special, like I said the last time. And this was a rented place where we were, and it was beautifully decorated also with Srila Prabhupada's photos. And of course, there was a lot of local ministers. I don't know the names, but they were invited and they happily come to visit. So they're really friendly. I mean, they really cooperate together. Very beautiful. So they can have also publicly programs, like, no problem, because here in Dubai this is not possible. So even Ratha Yatra, we have it in a school, because we cannot go on the street. And of course, Manu Prabhu, you know him, and God Krishna Prabhu, many devotees from all around the world. His Holiness Bibi Govinda Swami, he was there, and Amala Harinam Prabhu came from America, and it was really beautiful. And of course, in the middle there was Gornitai and Aindra Prabhu and Diligiri. He bring he brought Vrindavan as well. So this was the main deities there. And a little bit of the spirit. So this is how Maharaj started. Then a little bit later, everybody was dancing. So it was really beautiful. And I have to say also, I don't know, Guru Maharaj, if you know this devotee, these flute players, his name is Gaura Kirtan Prabhu. And for me, it's one of the best flute players. And I don't know if you ever heard him.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, usually he comes also here to Dubai, and I saw him in Maipur, and he's really amazing. So this was like a decoration to the kirtan, and another instrument, more more modern one, was sakhī-gan, and she was also playing so beautifully. Yeah, and they were playing together like this. It was really like a beautiful adding, I would say, to the kirtan. But of course, with kirtan, this is also prasadam time. They're really beautiful, organized for us because we were guests. So we had a special part. We didn't took prasadam as the rest of the devotees, but because we were like their guests, they built something like this for all of us. And of course, original way how to honor prasadam. And I said to them, because myself, I'm really chili zero tolerant. I cannot take chili. And I didn't want to complicate it. So I said, I will take just rice. It's okay. Because it was really okay for me. But when they saw me eating only rice, immediately they arranged that I got pizza and ice cream. And yeah, they were so kind, beautiful atmosphere. And all of us who came from Dubai, they didn't allow us to take a hotel. Everybody was living in a house of any devotee. So they really took care of us, like for everything. And this is the group who came from Dubai. And this is Chaitanya Hari, the one who's from Bahrain, the friend who loves him, everyone. So that's why they come. And he drove us with the bus back to the airport. But all of this music and everything, whatever was happening, of course, the main mood was this. Everybody was singing together, connecting, and like sing for pleasure of Shishi Radha Bahrain, Ishvara. And it was really, really beautiful. Yeah, I was happy that I attended. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Just imagine how pleased Srila Prabhupada would be. What did he say? I would take the dust on my head of the feet of those who preach in Muslim countries, something like that. And that photo that shows the gentleman in the back wearing the Arabic, whatever it's called. That's really something to see.
Yes.
Hard to imagine.
Yeah.
I think Rupa Goswami would be already much jumping and dancing. Even with the sound of the saxophone.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Guru Maharaj, for your effort, for your sacrificing everything to come to those countries, and without you two, probably this wouldn't happen as well. So this
we were just sort of dropping in very briefly, not doing much there. But
still, thank you, Guru Maharaj.
It was an adventure. Good, thank you. Okay. So unless there's someone else, anyone, I want to share, let's see how to do this. Share screen. And I guess it's this. No, how to do this now. Hold on, let me get this somewhere else. Okay, Zoom, share, and then it's not that one. It's not that one. What is it? It's hiding from me. Oh, maybe it's here. There we go. Must be this one. All right, there we go. Yeah, so I wanted to share. I can also make this available, this document. And I know this is kind of small printing. Maybe I can make it larger. I mentioned, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, that it will be nice if devotees begin to think about writing a reflection on some aspect of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3. It can be one verse, it can be one word. Can you see there? So, as we did for the first canto reflections and the second canto reflections, the second canto reflections are in production, I believe. It goes to print very soon. So I thought, why wait? We can start with third canto. Yay. And this time I thought to help to think about the writing process, because some of us find writing, some of us, including myself, find writing quite a challenge. So there's a book called Writing Tools, 50 Essential Strategies for Every Writer. And in this book, the author, Roy Peter Clark, explains very nicely some 50 sort of simple tools. And he divides these into different groups, and he explains them. Now, what I have here is without the explanations. It's just the list. One would have to get the book in order to get the explanations, which include, he always includes examples for each one of his tools. I should say there are any number of books about writing, and you may want to find something in your language, your native language, which would give you inspiration and give you help. There's different sorts of books on writing. Some are mainly for inspiration, just to encourage you to write, no matter what. And some books are more giving specifics about what to do and what not to do. And it can depend on what type of writing you're doing. But these 50 strategies are rather general for practically any kind of writing. I'm not going to go through all of these now, obviously. I thought I'll start at the end of his list, or near the end of his list. And yeah, the last sort of 10, he has useful habits for writing. And the first of these, number 40, is draft a mission statement for your work. To sharpen your learning, write about your writing. In other words, gives yourself a little time to think, why should I do this? What's my purpose? And see if you can articulate what your purpose is. It may be in a phrase, it may be in a sentence, it could be in a paragraph, or just 2 or 3 sentences, kind of a mission statement. And if you're wondering what is a mission statement, it's a statement of mission. Which means having a sense of mission, having a sense I'm doing something with a purpose. Second one, turn procrastination into rehearsal. You all know this word procrastination, to procrastinate. You know it very well. You don't know what is procrastination is. Anyway, recording in progress. Okay. So this is an interesting suggestion. So we have the tendency to procrastinate. Okay, we acknowledge that. But instead of just procrastinating, turn it into what he calls rehearsal. You know what is rehearsal? Like you're rehearsing to perform something. So plan and write it first in your head. So be thinking, how am I going to write this? I have an idea. How am I going to do this? See what you can do a lot of the work in your head. One way to do it in your head is to imagine that you're having a conversation with one other person and you're talking about it, whatever it is that you're thinking about, right? The next one is do your homework well in advance. Prepare yourself for the expected and unexpected. In school, students typically wait until the last night before something they should be writing is due the next day, right? Although, I don't know, it seems like in Europe, there's not so much writing assignments in school. Did you have? You had. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And teachers can recognize very easily when something has been written just the night before, right? You can immediately see it. So, yeah, give yourself time, because I like to think also of writing as a kind of gardening. So with gardening, you're planting seeds, you're watering, and gradually something is growing. So similarly, ideas, you have some vague idea, but it needs time to grow. And sometimes that requires sitting and just writing. I read something a few days ago I really appreciated about writing. That it's good to have an attitude while you, which is not one of hope and not of despair. So as you're writing, you're not hoping and you're not despairing. You're just writing. And then that's as you're doing the initial writing, and then gradually you're refining, fixing, getting clear, understanding what you want to say. And then maybe you probably want to get more a feeling of hope that what you have to say is worthwhile. Then he says, read for both form and content. Examine the machinery beneath the text. So we always hear, oh, we should be reading Srila Prabhupada's books. And I would say, yes, read Srila Prabhupada's books and read something else as well. You need to write well, you actually need to read widely. You need to read widely. There's a lot of spiritual literature that can be read. You know, there's other kinds of literature which I think are not bad to read, you know, some history, some philosophy, some, I don't know, there's a lot of literature that's quite okay to read. Somebody likes to read Lord of the Rings or whatever. I don't see any harm. Some will see big harm. I don't see harm. These can sort of, they add some kind of fertilizer to your thinking, I would say. So he's saying read for two things. One is form and one is content. In other words, as you're reading, you can be a little bit analytical. How is this author developing the idea? You can do this with Srila Prabhupada's purports, how he develops an idea. And then, of course, reading for content, what is being said. So it's what is being said and how is it being said. There's, as he says here, there's some machinery, there's some method how it's being done. The next one is funny. He says, save string. That's maybe a kind of an American expression. In other words, all the different things that many people would use once and throw away. Some people will say, no, how can you throw away that string? It's perfectly good string. And they'll wrap it up and put it in a box and save it. And so save string. For big projects, save scraps others would toss. In other words, yeah, be something of a collector. You read and then, oh, that's interesting. Let me make a note of that. Let me copy that. Let me save that in a file. Here's something that might be relevant for what I think I want to write. I'm not sure yet, but okay. I have so many files that I call something like for possible use. And in fact, for this book that I'm writing, I have subdirectories full of things like that. Okay, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's maybe not so helpful for me to speak about too many of these at once. So maybe I should stop and yeah, see if any of you have any comments about any of those. But also, yeah, to say more generally that third canto is a nice resource for devotional reflection. It's one of the bigger cantos. It has 33 chapters. It's Vidura meeting with Maitreya. Vidura has a whole lot of questions. And before his questions, we hear how it is that he got thrown out of the palace and goes on pilgrimage. So that's a dramatic moment. There are a few dramatic moments in the third canto where there's drama is wherever there's conflict. So there's Hiranyaksha and Varaha. That's dramatic. What else? There's Jai and Vijay meeting the 4 Kumaras, and like that. So find something that you like and think about how you could write about it in whatever genre you like, whether it's straight like essay. If you're writing an essay, that's nice. Please try to bring something of yourself into it. In other words, don't just repeat what we can read ourselves in the text. Bring something from a fresh angle. Apply something that you read to something that you are thinking about or that you experience. One of the 50 was identify a question that you want to answer. So you can articulate a question that your reflection addresses and have a good time doing it. This should not be like pulling teeth. Mangala Chandrika.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, my obeisances. I just have some thoughts. It's not really organized thinking right now. Sorry for that. I got reminded of what Kshetra Swami, who was just visiting Radhadesh in past week, is doing. Mm-hmm. He shared in a few other seminars that he is doing a practice of journaling. Mm-hmm. And I felt it's a bit connected with us trying to be more clear in how to write and be more kind of creative in our writing. So I was thinking that as we are reading the third canto, whatever touches us actually through this reading in personal life, it could also come out in journaling and we could turn it in this way.
Yeah.
So
yes, that's a good point. You can don't necessarily just be reading and then waiting until something comes, this is what I'm going to write about. You can be taking little notes, little prompts, reflection, whatever, day by day as you're reading. And then after so much time, you go back, you see what you've written, and then you've already made a major start because you've already been making notes. Yes.
Can I share something more, Guru Maharaj?
Yes.
Which I was reminded is you were speaking about the Goswamis. So this past week, we had Keshava Swami here speaking about the community of love. So he was doing an analysis in comparison with Chaitanya Charitamrita and the relationships that Lord Chaitanya is building through Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he put out some principles, which I unfortunately don't know by heart because I didn't take notes. But I remember 3 of them. And one of them was encouragement and empowerment. So devotees will start to thrive as they feel encouraged and empowered within a community. The second one was bringing in the culture. So if we start to understand the culture behind the relationships, which of course are very visible in Chaitanya Charitamrita, then we will be able to associate and relate to other devotees appropriately. And one of the other principles that I remembered was detachment and renunciation. So seeing that as we grow within a community, also different other things start to happen where maybe we have more, this prominence, how do you call it, influence and so on. So it's very important to also be detached. And actually Maharaj gave this example of Goswamis every night living under a different tree, sleeping under a different tree. And he said, actually, normally we say that as an example of renunciation, but he said they were actually getting revelations about Lord Krishna's pastimes under every tree. There were different pastimes happening. So that's why they would be moving under a different So I thought this was very sweet view of this, principle.
Yeah, that's nice. So, okay, let me go back over it. One was encouraging each other, supporting.
Encouragement and empowerment.
Empowerment. And the next one?
The culture. So understanding the principles of the culture, of why we are relating to other devotees in a certain way, the respect. So many times we don't understand why different things are being done, how we relate to other devotees, but it actually stems all from the culture, which of course we didn't grow up with. So we need to actually imbibe it from observing other devotees who are living it or reading about it from the pastimes. So I think that's a very big one for us to properly imbibe.
Yeah. And detachment.
Yes, detachment and renunciation.
Yeah.
From fame, money, influence, all the things that may come as we are becoming, part of a community and grow and so on. He gave example of how with Bhakti Lata Bij, which is the example of Rupa Goswami, when our Bhakti Lata Bij grows, also all these weeds which grow with it, if we're not careful and sort of detached in a proper way, they might take over our devotion. So, it's
nice. Yes, you're all fortunate to have Keshava Maharaj's Sanga there. We're going to have him in the Switzerland retreat in July. He's a lot of fun. Okay, good. Thank you. Rindapati is asking, is there a link from the talk on animal ethics? I'm guessing you mean the one that was for the South American devotees. And I don't know the answer. So maybe somebody else knows.
I think Danny already uploaded it to the YouTube channel, and we can share the link in the group. Yeah.
Okay. I'm still waiting for a link to my talk for Earth Day. They seem to be a bit slow with that. They've written to me, yes, just now coming, just now coming. Anyway, I guess it'll come. Good. Okay. What else? Anything more about writing that we should say, or you want to say that you don't want to hear about writing?
I would like to say something, Guru Maharaj.
Yes.
Thank you so much for one storyteller of Narottama Dasa. I mean,
I'm just reading.
I know, but you know, the way you're conveying it, it's just really takes us there. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Well, I've been reading now third canto again, and what I do when I'm reading it, if something really touches my heart, or I have a revelation, or and that I don't remember from last time when I read it. So I have these post-it notes like this, all the ones, and I write what the verse is and the main point, just one sentence, and I stick it into the book, like that, and then you end up with lots of those post-it notes. But when I go through that again, that can be written in one book, and I already started writing something.
Very good.
But there's so many topics that one can write on, and my problem is that there are so many also dramatic situations in third canto, and starting from how Mahavishnu enjoys his pastimes by watching Lord Brahma, how he's creating the material universe, and Krishna also has his pastimes, and that was like, you know, for me, how Krishna in every form of his enjoys his pastime. So that was a little revelation for me. But there's so many. What topic do we pick? How do you go about that, Guru Maharaj? What topic to pick when there's so many good ones?
You can flip a coin.
So let's say we have 20 topics, and I take 10, flip a coin, and then discard the 5, or how do you do it?
I don't know. You can yeah, that's up to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to come up with some the system of elimination.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Rasodari Hari is asking, is there a deadline? We haven't set a deadline yet. Nobody likes deadlines. Do you have any thoughts, Rasodari, about this?
Well, I would say by the end of the year, it will be okay.
I was thinking the same. We must be connected by Paramatma. Yeah, I think that's good, by the end of this year. That gives 7 months. That's a lot of time. Yeah. Okay, everyone on site here are nodding their heads. Okay. And Padmamalini Mataji has found the link to 50 writing tools. That's nice. Thank you for that. Nowadays, there's so many things online. Oh, this is just the list, or is this the whole book?
It's just the list, as I can see as well.
No, wait. No, it's the whole book. Yeah, it's the whole book. Somebody did it. Okay, that's nice. Don't tell the publisher that. Right, so I think we've come to our time. Whoops, where am I now? I just lost us. There we are. So next question, are we meeting next week? Next week, I'm going to be in Singhachalam, and where am I going to be? I may be traveling that day, or is it the next day? Where is that? Okay, I don't know yet what's my schedule exactly. I'm going to be in Singhachalam, and we'll see. Maybe we can arrange, if I'm traveling that day, to travel after or before our session, if that's wanted. So Krishna Ragini wants to say something. Krishna Ragini Mataji? No, not there. Okay, so then, thank you all so much for joining the party. Have a wonderful week. Keep safe, keep sane. Chant, be happy. The springtime is here. Go for a walk. Come back. Oh, there she is. Krishna Ragini, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, just very shortly about writing. Because in my opinion, I am helped if I have a general view, not only the story that I'm writing about, but a general view, like not reading only that fragment from Canto 3, which we are writing about, but much more around, because it's a whole, to have a picture, to picture the whole thing. In the same time, going deep in the aspect we choose to write about.
Yeah.
So there are two things: to go deep in the aspect we choose to write about, and reflecting about it, but in the same time, look everything as a whole, not only that aspect.
Have the whole picture in mind.
Yes, have the whole picture. Yeah. That's all I want to say.
Okay, so on that happy note, thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Ibo! Hare Krishna. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Krishna family, Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all.
Herzlichen Dank, Gemeinschaft.
Hare Krishna.